Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mr. and Lady, how y'all doing? It's Kinetic Aesthetic. It's your boy Germ. I got my mans here with me. Cam, say what up.
Hello, everybody.
Y'all already know the deal, man. It's sports talk time. Y'all already know. We're starting off with what we already told you we were going to be starting off with last week. It's the NFC and the AFC West. Going into this new season, we're going to start with the NFC West specifically. There is all the hype in the world for the NFC West. You've got some of the just the most hyped three teams you could think of with the 49ers, who, despite them maybe not making the biggest moves, they still have Brock Purdy, who is a very good quarterback. I'm not gonna
More importantly, they still have Kyle motherfucking Shanahan. Now, I'm not even a Shanahan disciple like that or apostle or whatever they call it, but you can't deny that motherfucker be calling up plays
he's
for
good.
you, me, and your uncle back there, and he got Jimmy Garoppolo to a Super Bowl.
They've got Bosa coming back. They've got Fred Warner at linebacker. I still really like what that team has going on. Electrical, um,
Substation notwithstanding.
substitutions be damned. I still like the 49ers a lot as a team that could like surprise people and just be elite. And you've got the fucking Rams who just went out there and are still potentially adding to their already super team.
Did you see Aaron Donald practice today?
That's exactly what I was hinting at. That's exactly what I was hinting at. They don't
I
need
need
they don't need it. They don't
they got
need it.
They got beat in the NFC Championship one good time, and they're like, "Never again. We will assemble the greatest team ever assembled to prevent any of that sort happening
This
ever
is the
again."
equivalent of the Warriors getting beat and Draymond being on the phone crying to KD. Like this is that equivalent of like, we need you.
To be fair, if KD was retired, I would say so, but Aaron Donald retired. He hung them cleats up
This is
for what
worse.
we thought
It's worse.
was in a forever.
Worse. So I I really don't know any holes on this team. As a Bears fan who knows that the NFC, this is our first real year of being a contender per se. I don't really know if there's a feasible way for me to see us get past this team if they are fully healthy if we were to see them in the playoffs. I'll say that right now.
I think the biggest thing you gotta worry about is, like, I mean, the Rams' offensive line is not fantastic. They've been hooping out the fact that Matthew Stafford really is one of them dudes, and that our offensive scheme is designed for them to always have blitz answers. But you notice, right, like the Seahawks beat them because they did not have to blitz, and that caused a lot of stress on the Rams' offensive line. So that is their one weakness. If they were to have a weakness, it's not even like a straight up fault.
I'm of the opinion that with the way their defense is currently constructed, this has the potential to be. And then I'm sorry, Puka Nakua is just he's still really fucking good. I
He's
think
nice with it. He needs to
he's
keep
like
his teeth out of people who
as
don't
good as
respect that
Matthew
or
Stafford
condone
is,
that activity.
as good as Matthew Stafford is, and as dumb as Puka Nakua is, I don't see a way that they are able to fumble having this much talent. And then on that defense, I just don't see a way that that defense is going to be anything other than elite and elite enough to get you that there's two defenses I think going in there have that potential to just will their team to a championship. And it's going to take a CJ Stroud level of fuck up for it to not happen. And that's the Texans and that is the Rams. And then you add Aaron Donald. I'm saying this with the thought that Aaron Donald is coming into this team. I don't see. I don't see.
So I agree with almost everything that you said. Point of disagreement. You don't see how they fumble that talent. People fumble that talent every year.
Mm.
A talented team does not a champion make. We see this in every sport, every year. Now, the Rams do look fantastic and they have won the Super Bowl, but that Super Bowl was what, like 5 years ago? Right? Like with their weakness being the offensive line, if they meet Philly again, they might catch that L. Okay. Now I'm not saying they're gonna be bad by any means. They're probably gonna win like 13, 14 games.
at the very
but
least.
how they win those games matters. And also, B, Matthew Stafford is, if my math is right, like 35 years old, maybe older. He's 38. He's 38 years old.
I could see
He can still sling it, but if he gets hit too much, who's their backup quarterback?
probably the rookie that they just drafted.
Also, I think that Ty Simpson is in fact, and they also Stetson Bennett. Shout out to Georgia. Excuse me. That also quells the rumors of Joe Burrow going to the Rams after Matthew Stafford retires. But that was a scuttlebutt. I didn't know if I liked it, but it got him out of the division.
That doesn't quell any rumors because I'll be honest with you, as much as they like Ty Simpson, if you offer me Joe Burrow for him,
I mean, it'll be probably one of those like, oh, we all for Joe Burrow, we want Puka and Ty and X amount. Like,
you're
because like
not
you ain't
getting
gonna
another
do
you're
Ty,
not getting
you ain't
not
finna do
getting
Joe
any
Burrow for
other
Ty Simpson
player with
straight
him.
up.
You'll get some picks, but you're not getting a player.
They don't have any picks. The Rams said, fuck them picks as solid 6 years ago. They don't have any picks. They used them all to get Miles Garrett. Any picks they still had are in with the Cleveland Browns.
Second round is some shit gonna have to. I don't know.
For Joseph
I
Ward
know. I'm
Daryl
just bullshitting.
Burrow?
I'm bullshitting. I'm bullshitting.
Yeah, uh-huh. You see, this is why you gotta be careful when niggas out here. Excuse my language, but like
But the Rams to me are the scariest team. And I definitely feel like even if Matthew Stafford were to fall off a cliff and end up having a Peyton Manning 2015 year, how did 2015 end for the Broncos?
that's a fair point, but are you saying that Miles Garrett or are you saying that Miles Garrett is Von Miller in his prime? No, I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm just making sure that that is indeed what you're saying, because that is who won them that Super Bowl
Yeah.
ostensibly.
Yes. Okay. I had to sort of have the look came across my face as I was like, why are we questioning if Miles Garrett is on the same caliber as a player as Von Miller was in his prime? Like we didn't just see him set the sack record on a team that was perpetually getting blown out and getting beaten.
Miles Garrett has played one playoff game in his entire career. You act like we people put all this credence on big games when it matters, playoff atmospheres, and there's a little bit of hoopla to that. But let's not act like it's not the truth. You will also be playing better teams when you are in the playoffs.
Okay. If I,
So, like, I'm not saying that Von Miller in his prime is better than Miles Garrett in his prime. I am saying that Von Miller single-handedly won his team a Super Bowl despite having a quarterback that could not move from his shoulders up.
and I think you are crazy for even trying to give pause to me questioning if Miles Garrett can do this. I understand where you're coming from, and I'm not saying that they're unbeatable or that he is going to be able to just be this game record without question. He has to stay healthy. He's older than Von Miller was when that happened, and I am very aware of that. But I think with the talent around him and him not necessarily even having to have the pressure to be the guy that gets home,
Mhm.
especially if you have Aaron fucking Donald right next to you, I don't think we are really understanding the gravity of just how special this defense could be. I don't
I
know.
understand the gravity, but you still gotta play the games, big dog.
Okay.
You still gotta play the games. That is my biggest thing. You still gotta play the games, right? We've seen every single variety of super team you could see in the NFL in the past 30 to 45 years. And how many of them actually won Super Bowls? A limited amount. Not saying it's not possible, not saying it won't happen, but you gotta play these games, big dog.
You have to play the games and you have to stay healthy. That is the only thing that I think that would really hurt them because I'm going to tell you there's no offensive line in the NFL. I include my Bears that is going to be able to look at what they have and look at a defensive line that has Aaron Donald at one spot and then Miles Garrett somewhere else and tell me it's literally a choice of pick one.
And they also have Trent McDuffie that they added as a cornerback, which is a crazy ad, which
So
pisses me off a
I
lot,
haven't
but here
even
we are.
I knew they mentioned I knew they had here. So it brings up the question, what do you want to do, my nigga? How do you which one of us do you want to slam you? Which one of us do you want to have to slide towards? Which one of us are you going to want to have to put a second person on? Because of one, there's only going to be one guy on the other one. Otherwise, one of the other three people we have is getting home.
My Ravens bias is about to come out for 30 seconds. You know who's played and beat both Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett?
Who?
Separate teams, of course. Lamar Jackson. He put up 5 touchdowns on Aaron Donald, though, I think the only time that they saw each other.
He's definitely the quarterback with the right. There's going to be athletic quarterbacks with speed who can make them miss, who are going to be the ones who have a chance in these scenarios.
Also, teams that
Because
have good run games, it's vitally important. You have to be able to play action. You can't just
and I want to be clear, I'm not trying to make it seem like I think they're unbeatable. We're talking about teams that have the makeup. You're literally describing my Bears. So I really am not trying to say that I think that they're keeping me up at night. But if we're talking about on paper, if we're talking about what some shit that you just do not want to see under any circumstance come January, come February, you don't want to see that. I don't I,
absolutely not.
no, you just
Give
don't
me just about
no.
anybody else. I don't know if I don't wanna see Philly either because them boys over there be hitting.
I think Jalen Carter's still in the I'm getting better part of his career. So yeah,
If he can just stop spitting on people, that would be great. That ruined the all-time matchup, I feel. Like, how you get thrown out of a game before the game even starts? That was a wild sequence, but not important. But
it was dumb. People be passionate, but sometimes they just be dumb.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, so the Rams look absolutely ridiculous.
But it's time that we talk about the hometown team, the team that is the defending champion of not only the NFC, but of the entire NFL landscape. It's time to talk about Seattle's own, the motherfucking Seattle Seahawks.
Shout out to
Now,
them 12s. Shout out to
not-
the 12s, not the police. Not the police. Let me make that very clear.
fucks with,
That's not what I'm saying.
but no, no. But, back on track. The NFC champions and my fault. Let me stop just calling them NFC. The NFL champions really
Super Bowl champs.
NFL champs. I like to call them. Make sure that people know they're the champion of the league. They run this shit. But they really didn't have any big changes that I was able to notice outside of losing their running back,
Kevin Hall. Yeah.
Kenneth Walker. I wanted to make sure I got it.
Mhm.
They lost him in free
He
agency.
went to the Chiefs.
He went to the Chiefs. That's a good pickup for them. But they did draft a guy in the first round, so it feels like that could be just more one of those plug and play like things because I don't really see a reason why they should take any real big step back.
No.
Like there's
Well, I mean, the only reason they would is there's only one reason.
I think this is the Darnold that we're gonna get. I think he's in a really good.
Really? Okay.
I'm not
Okay. I mean,
I'm
I
ready to
the
he beat everything he did everything he needed to do. We saw him do it in Minnesota for a year,
mhm.
saw him go to Seattle, a good spot. He was a late bloomer. I'm not saying I think he's going to he's he's going to be a comfortable tier 2 quarterback. We talked about that list earlier that you might
Mhm.
later. He is very comfortably in that spot where he's going to be one of those guys to at the very worst he's a very reliable solid starter. And he's in the prime of his career right now.
And honestly, that with that kind of defense and the pieces he has around him, that's all you really need.
That is all
Looking at you, CJ Stroud. Sorry, that still enrages me that he lost in that game single hand.
I I don't know what was going in his head, but that was one of the that's a mental thing. That was mental.
He was seeing ghosts. There's no other explanation.
No other. No other. But
Like you, yeah, but
you have JSN still there, who is, I think, still gonna just further establish his cases, if not number one, like right there with Justin
he's.
Jefferson as the
I'll say he's tied for number one with Justin Jefferson. I'd love to see him in the playoffs, but like the Vikings have been inept at quarterback
No one
outside
have
of
to
that year
remember
with
that.
Sam
That's the only
Darnold.
reason why I was getting ready to say he might outright take it from him. But that is all going to come down to for him, and that's the last thing I'll say. Like going away from them, that's all going to come down to if they can get somebody better throwing the ball, because it's unfair for me to really try to judge him based off having JJ fucking McCarthy throwing him those damn terrible throws. I
They
just
had
saw
that
a
man
report.
in hell.
Just saw a report. These niggas was doing drills with no defense on the field, and he overthrew somebody 3 straight times. He was not meant for the league. But
Do you remember Spider-Man 2 when Aaron Brockman is in church praying for Spider-Man's downfall? That somebody had to have been doing that for Justin Jefferson because there's ain't no way you just like someone must have been specifically praying for his downfall individually because you make this man take significant JJ McCarthy snaps like that's rough. That's rough.
rough, wasted years of his career.
In his prime too. Like this is like Randy Moss going to Oakland. Like this we can we skip this part? Genuinely, can we all skip this part?
But back to the Seahawks, even on defense, I really haven't thought of any big significant loss they had other than Kobe Bryant, who went to my Bears. And so I don't really see a real reason for the team to take a big fall off. The only thing that could potentially hurt them is what could hurt every team and every contender we'll talk about. I'm knocking on wood as I say it, health. So I hope the best for him, because I was really wanting to see a Bears Seahawks matchup in the playoffs. That was something
Mm.
open for. That would have been so interesting to see Caleb try to pull that off. Who knows if he would have been able to pull off some bullshit? He had done it before, but I want to see it this year. So I'm rooting for the Seahawks to just continue doing what they do. They've just got too much going on. I like the coach. Just like the way the organization is run. Do you have any? Because I don't really got too much else to say about them. They just got to keep doing what they're doing.
I love the coaches that we have, but I miss Mike McDonald. He just seems like a cool dude. Like I will get a beer with Mike McDonald.
I was
He
gonna,
seemed like a cool dude to just chill with.
I was gonna say the same thing. I definitely agree with that. The Seahawks, if I have to make any prediction, they're at least gonna make it back to the NFC Championship. I
Okay. I'm not saying I disagree. I'm saying that's a okay, bold prediction, but I like it.
I feel like they're more of a steady pick in terms of something to like trust to just continue to be good
Mhm.
compared to the um the Rams, actually. Because the Rams are a little
Interesting.
bit, I keep thinking to myself, one, like, Matthew Stafford is old. And again, knock on wood, this is Aaron Donald coming out of retirement. You've got, like you said, this is the first year that Miles Garrett will have some real expectations. It's just a lot going on over there. They do sometimes hit me with that dream team Philly. I think it was 2011 vibe. So I'm
Mhm.
going to overly get excited about him. And then Puka's a head case too. So
I don't know what's going on with him. I wonder if that case is gonna get adjudicated and then the NFL is gonna have to suspend him depending on the adjudication of that case, or if it's already been adjudicated, I'll have to double check. But like that's a that but McVay got to get that figured out because you can't have your star wide receiver doing dumb shit like this.
it's unnecessary. Be-
Like, because that you're putting too much in jeopardy.
And they need him. Like, more than anybody else on that offense. Like, motherfuckers, I don't they can that's why I'm saying, like, Puka is what makes me feel more safe about that offense than even Matthew Stafford. You just need somebody to throw him the ball reliably and just not throw up JJ McCarthy ducks. We'll
Yeah.
see if Tyson
How do
is at least capable of not being that bad, but
but like he doesn't have command of the offense like Matthew Stafford would. Like
that's true.
Matthew Stafford could be doing mad villain stuff back there with their offense in terms of protections, in terms of audibles, in terms of just this man still threw a no look pass in the Super Bowl. I will never forget this. I remember watching it in real time. I'm like, this motherfucker is crazy. Like who like the level of just fuck it you have to have in your brain to even think about doing such a thing.
honestly. But that's the NFC West. We got
No, no, it is not. We have one more team left, unfortunately.
shit. Oh God. Oh God. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. That's how much I don't.
To most people's dismay,
God, we're gonna actually talk about them.
we have to. We can't just avoid them. Like, that's not how this works.
The
Okay.
Arizona
You
Cardinals.
tried it. You really
I
did.
really did. I was
You
hoping you was gonna
you
let me get that off.
you made an attempt.
I was hoping
Absolutely
you was
not.
gonna let me get that
Why?
off.
Because they
I
are home
already
to.
saw a clip of Marvin Harrison Jr. Still dropping passes in training camp.
I have a very interesting theory about this.
Like, what's happening? No, no, he had like it has to be something in the air out there. It's too hot. It's
No,
too fun.
he's trying to get traded, and it's a lot easier to get traded when your trade value is low. It means more people are willing to trade for you, especially good teams who don't want to have to give up a lot of things.
Okay.
That's my theory. But also, like, let me put this disclaimer out there.
Jacoby
Jacoby Brissett had one of the
Jacoby
funniest and
Brissett
probably
knows the
best
situation.
holdouts I've ever seen in my life. He said, "Yes, you may be giving me command of a burning ship, but damn it, you're gonna pay me adequately for it," and I respect that. However, Jacoby Brissett is a lifetime backup quarterback for a very particular reason, and
What's your reason for that?
like he's just good enough to be able to operate an offense at an elementary level, but he has not yet graduated from trigonometry to calculus.
Okay.
He just something about it, like, it just doesn't work. Like, now he was hooping first couple weeks of last year. I will not take that away from him. He was hooping. However, I don't think he can hoop enough for that team to be good. I don't think the offensive line is good enough. I don't think the run game is good enough.
It remains to be seen with Jeremiah Love with him.
The defense isn't good enough. Like, there's just so many, like, I don't like why they just let Kyler Murray walk out the door for next to nothing confuses me. Like, I knew, like, if they were gonna trade Kyler
Sometimes
Murray, trade him 2.5 years ago before the Call of Duty stuff came out,
I'm
or
at
before the thing in his contract.
I'm at the point now that I just think that there's certain organizations that they remain where they're at or are so perpetually bad because the people at the top. I haven't heard much about them, but there's just something going up there with that ownership. And yeah, that's my only guess because Jeremiah Love, maybe they're gonna luck into him being a stud and being able to have somebody on offense to sell some tickets and really help get things moving. But you've got a backup, perpetual backup in Jacoby Brissett holding out because he knows that if he's going to be stuck in this spot, he might as well be getting paid handsomely.
Might as well, and honestly, more power to him. I
No,
respect
I'm
it.
not mad at him. I'm not mad. It was just funny because even in Arizona, when you have like they can't have shit go right. And that's what I mean. Like it's just a cursed franchise almost.
Because like,
You
because
draft
they got complacent. And you get Larry Fitzgerald for essentially the majority of your franchise's history, and you also get Kurt Warner, and they take you to a Super Bowl. You think, "Oh, this is great," and then you don't really do shit after that. Like, yes, you draft Kyler Murray in a year in which, like, actually
and I don't
something
think he
that
ever recovered from that clause in the contract, and especially it going public.
nah, they did him dirty by doing that.
They did do him dirty. Even if it was going to be a concern, that's not something there's no way you let that go public.
Also, I think the back karma from drafting Josh Rosen in 2018, and it was so bad where you had the number 1 draft pick and drafted Kyler Murray thereafter.
I always sort of resented them for doing Josh Rosen like that. And I know motherfuckers think that he didn't deserve it and he was arrogant and a dick. And he might have been, but that's still dirty.
Nah, it's confirmed. College and professional teammates said that he was an asshole. Not saying that all assholes in the NFL, but he wasn't playing well enough to be the asshole that he was. That's my only thing. You can be an asshole, but you just gotta be good enough to where people can look to the side of that.
Be like, okay, at least he's giving us success.
Right, like, if you Randy Moss, you an asshole. Randy Moss is a very kind man, not saying he was, but saying, like, you had like, if you Randy Moss, you an asshole, you're like, "That's just Randy." But, like, if you Josh Rosen, you an asshole, that's like, "Hey, get Joshua up outta here." Like,
You're right.
it's just not the same. But
I just don't see any real like good things going down for the Cardinals this year again. It just feels like it's going to be another lost year where they're going to be stuck in just being in last place in that division. I don't even see them being like one of those like 7 or 8 win teams. Again, I just see them being a
they're winning 4 games at most. I think we counted this out one time. I think they're winning 4 games, and that's really
that's how I would put it.
unfortunate.
Maybe they'll be in position to draft a quarterback next year to try to like to fuck him up, but we shall see. Like I'm sorry that until I'm proven otherwise, until they get like, they're gonna need an Andrew Luck level prospect to go there, and they might just Larry Fitzgerald him and like just not really do shit with him.
But the thing is, they're gonna need to get a high profile quarterback in free agency because, like, there are certain teams where I feel like some quarterbacks would boycott going to, and Arizona's turning into one of them.
Yeah, they're
Like a full Eli Manning, I'm not going there sort of a situation. And they've deserved that reputation thus.
you have who was supposed to be the most no miss wide receiver in that draft class. I wanted him before I wanted anybody else. I fell in
W-
love with Rome because I
n-
knew he was gonna be in our spot. But like I would
Not just that draft class, in like a decade and a half.
and look at him.
It was like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and him. Like those are the
And look at him now. Like that's why it's like I don't. And you can talk about him maybe just wanting to get traded and everything, but they're like, bro, there were games, like actual games where you're doing this. So I don't know. Maybe it's something in the water, maybe it's something in that heat, but the NFC West is gonna end with the Cardinals being in last place. That's a guarantee that I'll take to the bank.
now the question is, will they be bad enough to be able to draft Arch Manning if Arch Manning declares for this draft?
Mm.
Who knows? I think they should take old boy from South Carolina. I cannot remember the name for the life of me, but he is a pretty good quarterback if he's close to the draft. Again, we don't know that this early. And there may be some sleepers that come out with this most recent college football season.
Yeah.
But
There
as
always
it
are.
stands, Arizona is a ship without a permanent captain. And you have great skill players in Jeremiah Love, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Trey McBride is
But
99 on Madden, and I don't even think about him when I think about great NFL players because he plays in Arizona and he's stuck there.
because that team is booty, cheeks,
And
ass. Okay. And I hate that. Because that also means like you're not getting developed. You're not learning how to win, which is a cliche thing, but it's true.
yep.
And you're like in purgatory. Cause like, like because you're so good, the team that you're on is gonna ask a boatload for you in a trade, which means good teams are less likely to have enough assets to trade for you. But also the team isn't doing well enough for you to get into a place where you can kind of etch your name into the books. But it's also not bad enough for them to want to rebuild the team altogether.
But now we are dealing with
Fortunate.
the NFC West. I apologize for trying to ignore you, Arizona. I just wanted to spare you from having to talk about how bad you are.
You try so hard.
I did. I did. I did. I did. I did. But AFC West time, and we are going to start with the dynasty that is in question. It's a little shaky right now because they're going through some stuff. But Patrick Mahomes is
Some stuff is treating it kind.
he is trying his hardest to make sure that he is ready for week 1. And listen, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if there's somebody that I don't want to bet against, it's him. So how are you feeling about the Chiefs, Kim? Because I think that I'm thinking they're gonna have a bounce back here.
I'm betting against him. Want to know why?
Why?
They weren't good before he got injured.
Hmm.
That team was not good. They were borderline not going to make the playoffs before he got hurt. He was not playing well when he got hurt.
Mm.
Now, Am I saying that that's how he's going to be in perpetuity? No. But how he was playing, and now we all say, "Oh, Patrick Mahomes, he can turn it on." Yeah, you can only turn it on so many times. You can only do the things that he's done by sheer force of will, talent, and preparation so many times. I think we have gotten spoiled with like the Michael Jordans, the Tom Brady's, the the Dodgers and the Yankees, right? Of like, oh, people can just do this particular thing. Nah, this is not normal. Okay. And also, the team that he has is not that good.
I will agree with that. This is one of those situations where I'm not expecting them to win the Super Bowl per se. I will make that clear. But what
They're not. They're probably not making the AFC Championship game.
I think this is a team that can come in and have a very strong season where Patrick Mahomes can will them to a lot more wins than they probably should get. And just led by the force of him wanting to show motherfuckers, I'm still here. I still got it. Because I do think
I'm worried about him getting injured again. That's my main thing.
feel like
Like,
he
like, like,
really
like,
has
if you read injuries that same knee more so. Let me be more precise with my language here. So you want, and you know what? It could. Oh no, that's the preseason. I was like, whew. The first preseason game was against the Rams. I'm like, and it could happen. And but no, like
I still see him as a player that's smart enough to know when he needs to check it down, when he needs to throw it away. And I think that he's already been going into this and been training and working out, knowing that he needs to alter or be ready to change the way he thinks about going about situations. We're not going to see him trying to scramble as much or as often or doing anything way too wild.
I think he's at more risk of a non-contact injury than it.
You think that there's a chance that he would go that they would somehow let him out there before there's any like chance of that happening?
Well, no, like a non-contact injury can happen at any point. It's more so like he's a world class athlete, right? You're rehabbing from an ACL, right? He's pretty athletic, right? It's the mental hurdle of your team not being good and you have to play Superman. You're going to do too much. He was doing too much last year. And you know what? When you do too much, you put too much stress on your body
Mm.
over and over and over. And remember, their division isn't, oh no, they have the Broncos in the division and they have the Chargers in the division also. So that's 4 games we were playing 2 out of the best 10
Oakland isn't going
defenses.
Oakland isn't gonna necessarily be the worst team in the world now that they have
No, but they're not finna be like, their defense isn't finna be great. And if you have an argument to that, I would love to hear it genuinely, but I just don't.
I'm not. I'm just gonna say Max Crosby is nothing to scoff at.
Oh, no, 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 no. He's n absolutely not, but, like, again, one person doesn't make an all in elite defense. Otherwise, well, no, the Browns had a fantastic defense for a variety of reasons. Their offense was just terrible, but, like, I just want him to take care of his body well enough because I don't wanna see, like, although and I'll say this, as much as I hate Patrick Mahomes, like, I'm a Chiefs hater, I will admit this, I don't want his career to go off on him being injured. I'd much rather him playing well, going out on his own terms, losing to my Ravens in AFC Championship games, things like that. Like, there's a certain like, I want him to be able to go out on his own terms,
I agree with
not
that.
because his body broke down on him.
I respect that. I think that at the end of the day, I'm going to have to trust that Andy Reid is not going to let the star of the show go out there and mess himself up or go out there before he's ready. He might be aiming for week one, but if they feel like there's any significant chance or it's like let or they're not gonna let him go. But
They should let him debut in week 3 against the Dolphins. Because then you go Dolphins, Raiders, bye, Chargers, Seahawks, Broncos, Jets, Falcons. So I think
that's not
you ease him in with the Dolphins, the Raiders, then you get a bye, so you get more rest. Then you have a gauntlet that you need to prepare for. Because they play the Broncos week 1, and that defense is gonna test him every which way on purpose if he plays.
I like the
So
but I think at the end of the day, you still want to go out there and you're trying to win. So
Absolutely. But, like, you have a better chance of winning, like, what's you could probably beat the Colts without him, so you're 1 and 1. That's fine. Like, that's not throwing the season away.
moving on, we have the San Diego Chargers, not the LA Chargers. I'm sorry.
Home of if man, yeah, that's me, AKA Justin Herbert.
He is a guy that I'll be honest with y'all, I was a fan of his at first, but at this point, there is no denying he's a little bit fraudulent and he is on very shaky standing in terms of his quarterback ranking as far as I'm concerned. I like what the Chargers have. They have too much talent. They've got everybody on that offensive line that I'm a fan of. They've got a defense that still has some pieces that I really enjoy. And they've got a coach that, damn it, if Ben Johnson wasn't our coach, I sort of wish it was this man, Jim Harbaugh. So
Jim Harbaugh is a great coach.
it's going to come down to
I
this man right here, Justin Herbert.
mhm,
It's going to come down to him. He had the year where he threw 4 interceptions. He had this
in a single playoff game. I watched, and I was astonished every time.
he had the horrible performance against the Patriots.
Whole performance against the Jaguars, you remember that? They're up 27-3 going at halftime. Trevor Lawrence threw 4 first half interceptions. 4,
Legendary
and
number.
they lost that game.
So when I tell y'all that if this man is not able to really change something around, it's going to start to just be like, all right, this is a stat pattern, just numbers guy. He's not really that good. And I hate to say it because I really do respect his game and I like to enjoy to see Justin Herbert be out on the field. He's a fun player to watch, but you can't excuse some of these letdowns anymore. You can't excuse I'm not saying that you need to win everything. I'm saying you can't excuse it just like not kind of going out there and really showing
The meltdowns.
right.
Like, you cannot win playoff games and, like, okay, you played well, you made sure it wasn't you that made your team lose. And we can respect that, and we can say, you gotta do better next time, you can move on. It's the playoff meltdowns. Like, we're at a point where Imma ask you this question. Between Justin Herbert and Baker Mayfield, who would you pick?
Baker. Me personally, I'm picking Baker.
Mhm. And would you have ever considered saying that when Justin Herbert first got in the league, or those first couple of years with Justin Herbert, sans, Urban Meyer years, because we all know that was a shit show?
I still yeah, I just it's for me it's coming down to the clutchness. So like for me, I knew I would probably take Baker over him after the 4 interception game. Like the 4 interception game for me was when it really started to be like, okay, maybe this guy just sucks.
To be fair, I think that was against Houston, and Houston terrorizes just about everybody on the planet. So that's a context does matter, but 4 interceptions is, still, that's not
Combination with
good.
everything else. It's in like there's a lot of just people that really think the Chargers are a cursed franchise because of their ownership and the Spanos family. So I'm starting to think maybe he's a victim of that because he's so greatly talented, but he just is always going to lose and lose badly when it matters. But I don't I don't really see a real reason. I'm not ready to give up on Jim Harbaugh as a coach.
Oh, I'm not talking about giving up. We're not giving up on Justin Herbert or the Chargers, but
I
we
might
have to
be.
be very honest about.
I might be. I might be ready to give up on
Oh,
Jim.
well, okay, yeah. Speak your truth. I'm just saying we have to be honest about what we have seen Justin Herbert to be. Now, I'm not saying he cannot grow. I'm not saying he cannot change. He is 0-3 in playoff games with 2 touchdowns and I think 6 turnovers.
Because for me, it's getting to a point now where I don't even think he'll end up being the best Chargers quarterback in history.
Like ever? Oh, yeah, no. Philip Rivers still hasn't beat by a mile. Like it's and this is one of those things where tools
Compared
doesn't
to
mean that
I thought in those first 2 years, he had the potential to end up being better than him, and now I
I
don't.
think he still does, but he has an uphill battle now. I think that's just all that means. This is also another example of just because you have the tools doesn't mean the job gets done. If you were making a quarterback in a lab, Justin Herbert is one of the first things that would come up because he has the height, the arm strength, the athleticism. all the things. But if you throw 4 interceptions, you're going to lose that game unless you're Trevor Lawrence playing Justin Herbert.
Exactly. So I'm I'm not really sure exactly where I think they're going to end up. It's all going to come down to him, and
And their O-line. If they get both their O-linemen back, I think they have a better shot, but
we'll see. I'm
I
tired of
I
that.
need them brothers to start catching passes, though. Like, I'll be seeing them balls hit them in the hands. I'm like, "That's."
Very rough. All right. Next up in the AFC West, we have the Las Vegas Raiders. I think they're going to be a bottom feeder. You got Geno Smith as your quarterback.
No, no, no. Geno's with the Jets now. I
Whoa!
think
I'm thinking about. Sorry, I'm thinking about the Jets. I'm thinking about the Jets. I'm sorry.
LOL.
I'm thinking about
Uh,
the team that was so terrible last year, but now
Kirk
we're talking about.
Cousins.
No,
Mhm, that's fair.
I'm sorry,
Kirk
y'all.
Cousins is their starting quarterback as of now.
When actually, now that I think about, okay, now that I'm really getting my mind right on who on this team, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. But now I'm getting my mind right on on this team and their profile. I actually think this is why I said earlier it's going to be tough for the Chiefs just because they're like like the Raiders are they're starting to really try to build something now. I think they're doing this in a very smart way of having Fernando sit. You have Kirk Cousins be the little bridge starter, and I think he is good enough to where you shouldn't like take him out and just start Fernando at any point. Do what hasn't been done in a while and let him sit out his first year.
'Cause
But
y'all ain't winning shit this year no way, so, like, you might as well just
exactly.
let him develop. Like, cause Jalen Nailor was good, Trey Tucker were good, but they're not wide receiver ones. You have Brock Bowers, yeah, but, like, that's one dude. You have Ashton Jeanty, great, but your O-line is not great. You got Tyler Linderbaum this offseason. Again, one center doesn't make an entire offensive line. So,
Fernandez should
like,
be seeing the field unless things turn into a blowout, which is unlikely in their case, or just like small situations that just like at end of games.
or Kirk Cousins starts playing so badly that you have to be like, "Okay, nothing can be worse than this."
Is it crazy that I don't see him playing that bad?
I mean, no, like, okay, this is one of those things where Kirk Cousins might be the most shrewd businessman of all time. He has made like $300 million of guaranteed money in the NFL, and he's not great. He's good. He is not great.
He is.
But if you are just good enough, and if I'm being real honest here, I'm gonna be keep it a buck. If you are just good enough and you are white, you can really just clard your way through the NFL as a quarterback. And I love that for Kirk. I had a friend who had college class with Kirk Cousins, apparently. That was a fun at Michigan State. What a time. But no, Kirk probably isn't gonna play too badly. I'm gonna see what their schedule looks like because now I am curious. So they play the Dolphins. That's gonna be a mid fest. They play the Dolphins first game of the season, then Chargers and Okay,
Did they make
they have
any
an
big additions
interesting
over the
schedule.
offseason in terms of their offensive weapons? I think I remember like somebody signing with them.
Center Tyler Linderbaum. That's probably the biggest one, and then Max Crosby, obviously coming back for the Raiders after asking to be traded, feeling the
I think
physical.
both of those can be very big, impactful things for them. I could potentially see Max Crosby moving during the season if he plays really well, and some teams just offer that make them an offer they can use.
Uh-huh.
So, like I said, I don't see them necessarily winning too many games, but I could see them being a 6, maybe 8 win team if things just go really right.
I don't. Okay, that segues into the next thing I was going to ask you. There are 4 games that the Raiders play. I want you to pick who wins. I need you to give me answers. This is not a maybe. This is a yes or no. They play the Dolphins, very first game of the season. Who wins that game?
Where? Where is it played?
I believe it's at Las Vegas.
I'll go with the Raiders.
Okay.
Like they'll have a lot
The,
of energy.
so the Raiders play the Saints in week 3 in New Orleans. Who wins that game?
Raiders.
Interesting. Currently, the match predictor gives Saints a 61% chance to win that game. Okay, we're moving on. Raiders play the Jets in New York. Who wins that game?
Win.
It is in November.
I'll say the Jets.
Raiders play the Cardinals in Arizona in January. Who wins that game?
Raiders.
You have them going 3-1 in those 4 games. Interesting. Okay, because those are the easiest games on the Raiders schedule. So otherwise, they play the Chiefs twice, the Broncos twice, the Chargers twice, the Seahawks. They play the 49ers, the Rams, the Bills, and the Patriots. So I don't think they're winning 6 games.
I could see them stealing some games, especially
Oh,
from.
they also play the Browns, but like we don't know who the quarterback is, and that defense is still good, so who knows? But
It's more
it's
about.
off in Cleveland in the end of November, so it's probably going to be snowing.
It's more about them just being able to steal those wins, bet from teams that especially within their division. Division teams beat up each other.
Yeah, sure, yes, but you have 2 possible AFC contenders in Denver and the Chargers, which potentially a third with the Chiefs. You really think they're gonna lose a game each to the Raiders?
No, not saying it like that, but
That's 6 L's automatically. That puts you at 11-6 at best. And we already say they're losing to the Saints, and so that puts them at 10-7. And they're not being the Rams or the Seahawks. Puts them at 8-9. They're not beating the Patriots or the Bills. That puts them at 6-11. They I don't think they're beating the 49ers either. Puts them
okay,
at 5
okay,
and 12.
okay, okay. I get it.
I'm just saying, like, let's just look at this objectively. And now, again, like I said earlier, the games have to be played. Anything could happen. But we also have to be objective and reason.
I just think that they have low key a lot of good vibes that are going well for them, and I think they can surprise a lot of people this year. But I tend to agree with you, especially when you just say it out loud. I just don't. It is very hard to imagine.
Now, could they win 5 games, maybe 6? Yeah, I could see it. They're not winning 7 or 8 though. I think 6 is their upper limit. Honestly, I think if they win 6 but are competitive, I think it's a successful season.
I agree with you. Okay, now moving on to the next team in the AFC West that we are going to discuss. It is the Denver Broncos. They were part
Let's
of the
ride.
they were part of the AFC Championship. They lost to the Patriots, but that was honestly, in my opinion, only because Bo Nix went out with that injury
At the very end.
at the very end. I hated that for them. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I really think that this is a team that can just end up right back there. I forgot to mention them when I talk about those defenses that can almost will their team to glory.
Elite.
Elite. They're not messing around up there in Denver. I don't see a real reason to expect Bo Nix to regress or take such a step back that he prevents them from being able to be good. I like what they got going on. A lot of people
I agree.
Payton as a coach, and I understand why my aunt hates him. Auntie.
He'd be winning though. Like you could say a whole lot about it. He'd be winning though. He won a Super Bowl in New Orleans of all places.
She hates him because of the way he did Russell Wilson, and I understand that.
I mean, I can respect that. I can respect it. I don't share the hate, but I respect it.
And so my real prediction for them is it's just gonna come down to how well Bo Nix recovers from that injury. If he is at least serviceable or close to where he was in that last year, They should be fine. They should be another definite playoff team at the very least.
Let's not forget they added Jalen Waddle to this offense this
Shit.
offseason. Just wanted to remember throw that little tidbit out
One of the
there.
more underrated receivers in the league. So I see even less reason to doubt them. I see even less reason to think they're not gonna just go out and have their way with motherfuckers.
They finna be hooping over there. They might hang 70 on the Dolphins. Well, actually, no, I think it was the other way. I hope they don't play the Dolphins no time soon. They will hang 70 on the Dolphins that day.
But
So yeah, I mean the defense is gonna be fantastic. I think Bo Nix's ability to command the offense
it's just
is
more and more.
uh-huh. But it's interesting with like seeing the spread for some of the games that they're playing is very interesting. Very interesting. Oh no, they do play the Dolphins this year. So it's it's gonna be an interesting year for the Broncos. I think they can win double digit games. I expect them to win double digit games. Some of the games might be uglier than others, but I mean they're only a minus 1.5 when they're playing the Seahawks in prime time. So it they're they're gonna play some legit teams, legit playoff teams throughout the year, and they're gonna be tested. So
Think that this is gonna be one of the more interesting like divisions because it's really gonna come down to how some people recover. Because the Chiefs, like you said earlier, I think that if Patrick Mahomes comes back and he comes back with a vengeance, they should be right back to where they're at as one of those just for sure playoff teams, despite having everything. It's one of those guys I've just learned to just not bet against, especially if you give him a chip on his shoulder.
mhm.
So you've got you've got LA who listen, I even if they're winning games, it's gonna come down to at this point, I just gotta see how you're gonna perform in the playoffs for me to
Who
even
wins that division, right? Before we get to playoffs, who wins that division in your mind?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no real reason to bet against the Broncos and that defense. I don't see I just don't see Justin Herbert in the Chargers at this point. I'm starting to like I said, I'm starting to doubt him and give up on him. So I'm really starting to doubt if they're going to be able to get done what they need to get done with him more than a wild card. I don't know if you're going to be able to, as long as Bo Nix recovers like and is serviceable and he can still just throw with a nice bit of accuracy like he had been, be a little bit more consistent, I guess. They'll be fine. They will be more than fine. They'll be great. So I'm picking Broncos. I'll just say it like that.
What do you think their record is? I agree with you, by the way, but what do you think their record is?
At least winning 12 games.
Really? Okay. I had them in my mind, I had them at 11-6,
I
with the Chargers and the Chiefs both being 10-7 right below them.
can see it happening like that. The Broncos just have a lot going for them with that defense still coming back
They do. They have the best defense in their division by far.
by far. You combine that with the Chargers just having all the questions they have. You've got Mahomes, who is the real question mark of the Chiefs, to see if he can come back with a vengeance. I see no real reason to doubt against Denver. We'll see.
And they're playing the AFC East. So that means obviously the Bills, the Jets, the Dolphins, and the
That's
Patriots.
ugly. That's ugly for those teams.
2 out of 4 of them, yeah, I mean, shoot, the Broncos the week of the Broncos game against the Bills, you know how many times they're gonna be playing that Josh Allen fumble in that Bills locker room?
Nah, how much?
They're like, "Hey, don't do this. Don't do this."
Don't fuck up like that.
Not even don't fuck up, just don't do like that was one of the most Looney Tunes ass turnovers I've ever seen in my life.
It's the quintessential just trying to do too much.
I'm like, just slide, hold on to the ball. It's halftime. You're fine. But one play doesn't win or lose you a game in most cases, and I don't think that one did either necessarily.
That is our thoughts on the AFC West, y'all. Um, I don't know if I could have made a strong prediction for the NFC West, but I'm going to say that the Rams are probably going to be able to take it this year.
I think they might go 14-3.
And then you've got the Seahawks, who I know for sure are going to be a playoff team. So it's going to be tough in that division. They have very strong potential to have three people being the
Be in the playoffs,
yeah.
yeah.
And I can't even say that about the NFC North. I don't see it happening with more than two teams.
I think that might be the only division where that happens, and to be honest with you.
Yeah. I don't see anywhere else where
That had, like, a clear shot at it.
I don't see it either. But moving on from that, I want to say one more thing before I let you bring some stuff up. Jaguars head coach Liam Cohen, he was reported recently, I think he was doing an interview with NFL.com or on not NFL.com, but for the NFL network. And he was talking about how he was able to motivate his players because when he goes to the NFL website, there's nothing but Caleb Williams and basically just calling out Caleb Williams, using his name to make his point. I'm not bothered by it as a Bears fan. It comes with the territory of having a guy who is becoming the guy and one of the faces of not only the uh, just the Bears, but of the league. But Caleb Williams made a point to repost it, made sure that it was retweeted, and it's safe to say he's using it as fuel. I like that he does stuff like this. I like that he's that petty. I like that he makes sure that, you know what, if you use his name, I'm going to make sure I remember that shit. I'm going to put you on that bulletin board of motherfuckers who gave me ammunition. Cam, how do you feel about it?
I mean, this is training camp is where ammunition gets found, right? People be saying stuff, and you hear some wild stuff in this period of time from people, whether it be front office people, coaches, coordinators, players. You be hearing wild stuff
Facts.
during this period of time, and so I hope Caleb Williams, excuse me, does use it as fuel, does use it as motivation. I mean, had a good season last year. I think he's in poised up to have a great season this year. I think he just has to be comfortable doing the normal things and not just always trying to be extraordinary.
I completely agree.
Because there's some players where I'm like, just throw the check down, bro. It's fine. Like you're not gonna. It'll be fine. Things will be fine. Just throw the check down. Get the 3 or 4 yards. You're gonna be good, right? But you don't want to coach the special out of the special player, but you just want to be like, hey, you don't always got to do that.
I
So
think
do
that they've already made such a point. Ben's already talked about how they're just trying to how that's a goal for them, and I feel like they made sure that they crossed out all their goals for last year. I think they're going to do it again this year.
And we'll get to that division prediction when we get there. But I'm curious to see when we get there how many games you think the Bears will win this upcoming season.
But I want to let you bring up the topic that you had earlier.
All right, folks. Now I know that baseball is not the behemoth of American sports that it once was, and probably will never be. One thing before I say that, shout out to the Women's Professional Baseball League that got started at the first inaugural games this week. Shout out to Monet Davis. Shout out to so many others. Shout out to, I think it's the Brooklyn Queens, the Boston Hunters, the San Francisco Fireballs. And then I think there's two other teams that I'm missing, and my apologies. But the games look fantastic. People are coming up from all over the place to watch them play. So support women's sports. They're great. They're fantastic. And I love that they're kind of now getting a chance to like play. Like there are more avenues for them to play professional sports in a way that's meaningful and can put some money in their pocket. And when I say meaningful, I mean like putting money in their pockets. Because there's been a lot of pro or semi-pro leagues for all different kind of women's sports, especially, but they haven't paid well, if at all. So I'm glad now that those women are getting an opportunity, showcase that they be balling. Anywho, back to the men's Major League Baseball Association situation. Most recently, the trade deadline was Tuesday. In case you haven't heard and don't follow baseball, there's this thing called a Cy Young Award, right? It's given to the best pitcher in a particular league, whether it be the American League or the National League. And then there's a man named Tarek Skubal. He's won that award back to back years, and he played for the Detroit Tigers. He was one of the main reasons or main drivers of their most recent playoff push and considered one of the scariest pitchers in baseball. I bring him up why? Well, he was traded to the Los Angeles Dodgers this week. And now
Richard
the
Gere.
Dodgers have four out of the best 10 pitchers in baseball on their roster. Some would argue four out of the best five pitchers in baseball on their roster, but I'm not going to go that far. This has caused outcry amongst baseball fans saying, oh, some people said the Dodgers are ruining the sport. They're just buying all the players, da 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 da. Da. And there are some unique aspects of the Dodgers revenue agreement with the MLB that I'm not going to get into here. You can look that up if you would like to go into each of those weeds. But there are kind of financial things that a lot of Dodgers do what they do, but also they have a shit ton of money. In case you weren't aware, baseball has no salary cap, which means you can pay players as much as you want. You can also defer money multiple years in advance, which is why Shohei Ohtani was able to get almost $1 billion deal that didn't start accruing for another, I think, 8 years after that deal was signed. Right? You can defer payments a certain amount of time. You pay a luxury tax on the present and every year following. But people are saying that okay, this Tarek Skubal move, this is it. We have to have a salary cap or some sort of mechanism that stops all just a few teams from consolidating talent in a sport in which talent is in some ways singularly important. One, because like somebody say, "Oh, star power is really important in baseball. Star power is really important in football." Yeah, I hear you, but when you have a star pitcher who can pitch you 9 innings of a World Series game and only give up maybe one run, there's not really an equivalent to that in any other sport because that's literally a pitch. A pitcher can literally determine the outcome of the game
Facts.
almost single-handedly in some cases
What are you going to do
for
if
good.
you on the team can hit the ball?
Right. Nothing. Hope that your pitcher doesn't give up a whole lot and you go to extras and hope that he gets tired. That's really it. Right. Sorry. Putting in my okay.
But
So
that's
so
something.
like
My fault.
yeah,
I'd
I
heard
know.
about this trade. It's gotten to the point
Mhm.
where one thing I'll mention, there's literally a sign that went up over Wrigley that was complaining about it this happening.
Yeah, because he just played the Cubs for the first time. The Cubs swept the Dodgers. So like obviously games still got to be played and things like that. But so the reason I bring all this up is because there are significant labor concern or not labor concerns, but the MLB Players Union has a significant interest in the preservation of baseball's financial structure as it currently stands and not instituting a salary cap to a sport that hasn't had one for over 100 years. And I say that because when you institute a salary cap, a lot of things, they're also to a sport that hasn't had one, a lot of things have to change. You have to change contract structures. You have to change incentive amounts. You have to change what type of contracts you can sign, different levels of variety of contract that then can trigger based on a team's financial place or financial structure. Right. So many different things have to be instituted. It ultimately screws the players more. Why? Because it doesn't mean the owners of the team are getting less money at all. It only changes the financial position of the players. It prevents players from being able to be paid a certain amount of money by teams. It prevents players from being able to go to certain teams because they can't afford to pay them certain amounts of money. It prevents trades from going through. It prevents genuine like contract structure also, right? Like all those things only impact the players. Now people are saying, oh, there's ruined baseball, they're just consolidating talent. At some point though, that's the price you pay for having the league where no, you can get a contract for 10 years and all 10 of those years be guaranteed. Also, I know you sleepy, so we can get up out of here in a second.
No, 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 no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. It's not.
No, no,
It's not. It's
you
not
don't gotta apologize, but it's hard out here. But I just find that shit funny. Um,
because it's not because no, no, no. The thing that I've been finding interesting about this story, and as you've been telling, is that like that's what I've always liked about baseball is that it's been sort of been that freedom for the players and that they've got so much power. But it's like we're starting to see the downside of that with both them and the NBA, where you have such a structure that is so in favor of the players. And it's something that it's like you said, I don't want to really take that away either because I want them to be able to get their money. I want them to all to be able to get their money, be comfortable, and be able to go where they want to go. And if the players are okay with it, that's fine. As the fans, I think it just comes down to you just got to hope your owners know how to finesse, know how to get shit done, know how to make moves, draft the right
or
people.
willing to spend money because a lot of owners in MLB don't want to spend money because they have a machine that prints millions of dollars a year without them really having to do a whole lot. So, like, I don't think this trade or the Dodgers are ruining baseball because as we saw, like, they're not infallible. Like, they just got swept by the Cubs this week. So, like, it's not like
Anything
they
can happen in
suddenly become
baseball. That's why, like,
invincible.
the Dodgers are not guaranteed to win this World Series. And I'm sorry I talked over you right there.
Oh, no, 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 you're good. You're absolutely right. They're
And I
not
be
guaranteed
feeling,
to win
I be
shit.
looking tired is because I be stopping and talking for too long, and then my eyes just
But
I'm
no,
like
like, the
a
Dodgers
robot.
aren't guaranteed to win a
I'm
World
like a robot.
Series.
Once the momentum stops, that's when everything just sort of slows down.
Oh, I know, I understand.
But
But, like, shit, last year, if Luis Rojas doesn't homer in that game, the Dodgers probably don't win the World Series, and we're not even talking about this ruining baseball. So, like, it's not like, oh, their stars absolutely dominated every single World Series that they've ever been in and yada, yada, yada. That's not the case. Like I said, you still gotta play these games, big dog.
people have to
Also, you
stay
still have to be
healthy.
healthy.
People have to avoid being like getting the yips. Motherfuckers can just get hot on the plate at the plate and they can just start to hit anything. So I'm not really too worried about that. I think there's still a lot of teams out there who are going to be able to build clubs that are going to be able to like compete, that are going to be able to that are going to be able to win the pennant when it matters. You just have to not have that defeatist attitude. Now, if I'm one of the teams that already doesn't have a lot of money or a big budget or can't really afford stuff, like I'm a fan of I'm a fan of Chicago teams. It's a big market. So I don't necessarily, I have to really also keep that in mind when I'm talking about teams that maybe are coming from smaller markets that don't have that real bankroll or just that appealing destination, everything like else like that to go for. That's why I do sort of I see the other side as well. It's really a no-win situation, but at the end of the day, I'm never gonna want to be on the side of billionaires.
Yeah, because like, again, the salary cap hurts no one but the players. It doesn't change their revenue split. It doesn't change any of that. It literally just puts a cap on how much players can make. Like, that's all it does. So, like, I get it. It's frustrating when you see like, oh, they got another guy. It's like, oh, KD just went to the Warriors again. Cool. But like, and you don't like it. I get it. But like, would you rather that? Or would you rather a whole bunch of people, talented athletes, prospects don't play baseball anymore?
Exactly. But I know you had some other stuff other than that. Did you want to bring up the graph? I mean, not the graph, but the chart about the quarterbacks? Because I did think that
No, that can be a next time thing. And what was I can't think of the other thing now.
gotta bring up that tier list though, because that just I'm sorry.
No, you can go.
But now I gotta bring it up, man, because no, no, no. So earlier, y'all, before we started recording, me and Cam were talking. And he showed me a tier list that 50 executives in the NFL put together, the top quarterbacks in the league, and the top four, three of them are not really a surprise. It's really not a surprise the four that are there. It's really the surprise of who they tried to keep out. You've got Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Matthew Stafford. Lamar Jackson is the
There's a polar bear in Texas in that for, if you ask me.
Lamar Jackson is the head of tier 2 quarterbacks according to these 50 executives in the NFL. And I'm going to be blunt about this. I don't like to bring this up either, or really like rely on this argument, but I don't know what else you can talk to when you still have people doubting this man and trying to discredit where he belongs when you discuss him, when you bring up his name and trying to say that he is not worthy of being in that top tier. I don't get it. I don't understand why we still have this debate, especially when we are trying to cape for Josh Allen being there when he does the same shit in the playoffs.
I'm more so saying like Joe Burrow hasn't been to the playoffs in 3 years.
I don't get
We're
that one
talking
either.
about a Super Bowl run that happened 5 years ago. Joe Biden was still president when he made the playoffs last,
He's riding in the laurels of a 5,000-yard season where he yes, he put up all these crazy ass numbers, but
and
again,
he didn't make the playoffs. He had a 5,000-yard season and didn't make the playoffs.
I don't like to talk down on Joe Burrow. I really do like him
He,
as a player, y'all.
he's cool, but like we can't
Especially
keep
when
doing
y'all
this.
are trying to discredit. We're not holding niggas to the same standard. We're not. I don't know what standard is Lamar Jackson has to do. I don't know why. Is he just not light skinned enough? Is there too much melanin in the skin? Because that's at this point, that's
A
all
little
I can
bit,
think of, damn it.
a little bit too much. Because like
2-time MVP.
he's thrown for 41 touchdowns and 4 interceptions more recently than Joe Burrow has made the playoffs and they're thrown for 5,000 yards.
So
And I think if I remember correctly, Lamar Jackson is 11-1 against the Bengals. So like it's not like Joe Burrow owns Lamar Jackson in a head-to-head matchup either. Every year that Joe Burrow has made the playoffs has become Lamar Jackson has been injured. Joe Burrow has only won the division, I think, one time. And so I understand it feels like an upgraded Justin Herbert situation. Now Joe Burrow has won playoff games. He's been to a Super Bowl. I will not take that away from him. Also, that was half a decade ago. So like if the
I
NFL is going to be
I
a what have you done for me lately league, we have to apply that to the scenario. That's all. I'm just asking for that. That's all I want. I
so
just want
I'm just at this point now when it comes down to it, it's just shocking that there are people in the NFL that are still this stubborn to this point where you're just like you have to try to exclude him out of that tier. Like he hasn't done enough, but you're gonna put the guy who can barely stay healthy on it. And
I'm gonna say it like this: Joe Burrow is not a lock for Hall of Fame. Lamar Jackson is.
ex- exactly, point blank. And I don't understand why he still has to deal with this type of just adversity. At this point, it's weird. It's weird for him to still feel like he's the underdog because he's not. He's a 2-time MVP. He deserves to have the pressure on him that motherfuckers are like calling him out for not getting past that if
Performing well in the playoffs. Yeah,
he
that's fair.
deserves that. But it's really weird to have some of these people who just take it so far, who try to really question like the level that this man has already proven that he's just at without a question. And I say that, and I hate to even do it because I hate to make it about just the color and the melanin. But we do the same thing with Jalen Hurts. We have people.
That man has been to Super Bowls and won one handedly.
I'm not gonna try to tell you he's a top 5 quarterback because I don't believe that in my heart of hearts. But
He's top
damn,
10 now for
you
sure.
damn right. And we
He's
still have
top 10
people who
for
try to
sure. Let's
question that.
not. Also, like we talk about, oh, Baker's had a different offensive coordinator every single year when he was with Browns, but that's also Jalen Hurts' scenario. And he took one of the motherfuckers to a Super Bowl. He took two of them to Tuesday for Super Bowls, one another one. So like, and you can say, oh my God, the defense won that. They also dropped 40 points. You don't drop 40 points by being bad at anything.
Facts.
So like,
It's strange. It's just strange to me the level of adversity that certain guys still have to deal with when you really can't think of another reason for it happening. When they just, it's sort of, it took so long for Justin Herbert to get this if man reputation for it to be like to the point where it's just openly called out in the media. Despite him for 3 straight years just putting up duds in the playoffs, having just blown leads and shit. And yet these are guys who have consistently won and are gotten far enough in the playoffs to where you at least want to give them that. Yeah, he's one of those guys. But
Uh, I feel like this is we're seeing a lot of double standards in cases because, like, oh, if making it to the Super Bowl is such a big thing, Joe Burrow did. Okay, well, Justin Hurts has made two, and winning. Oh, he's made more than Josh Allen. He's only person, only active quarterback who has made more Super Bowls than him are Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, and him and Aaron Rodgers are tied. I think they both made two.
I don't understand
So
I don't understand the efforts that people try to do to like make it seem like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are in a separate class. I'd be okay with motherfuckers trying to put Patrick up there and say everybody's below. I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that. He's proven that. I have no qualms with
But
that.
you have no real leg to stand on if you're trying to sit there and tell me that like Josh Allen is like somehow in a tier one and Lamar Jackson isn't. They're the same. They're in the same like role in their careers right now of just being stuck behind this one guy, which is like
Mhm.
it's media push of guys who would love to just make it seem as though Josh Allen is just the one that's right behind him and Lamar Jackson is just he's like a distant third or fourth at best.
Like the redheaded stepchild.
And it's
Me, but I will sorry, go ahead.
it's just still frustrating to have to see and deal with. I still get annoyed because I remember the Bill Polian shit about how Lamar wouldn't work and him
Hey,
having to overcome
that that you know, that motherfucker's trying to find any way to
anyway.
recover his because
So
instead of the bad takes, whoo, brother, that one was terrible.
and I bet you, based off the fact that he still hasn't won the big one, he would probably try to still stand by it, which is the crazy part. But that just is something that you have to highlight because once you show me that it just it be right in your face how despite the highest levels you can achieve, you will still, if you are really authentically yourself, because I don't want to make it seem like I was coming at Patrick Mahomes in a certain way when I said what I said earlier. I just think that his natural self is so unoffensive to where he doesn't have to deal with certain things and the way he carries himself and everything like that. His authentic and genuine self. Lamar, it's a completely different story. And I don't know if there's any other way to describe it. It's just
If you had told me that Patrick Mahomes Sr. was Lamar Jackson's dad, I would believe you. And if you know, you know.
facts. But
Yeah. This is my one point of contention. They gave Josh Allen a here nigga damn MVP. A here nigga damn
in a
MVP.
year where a lot of people said Lamar should have got it,
Oh, he put up historic. He threw 41 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, and
damn
all
near
four
only didn't get
interceptions
it because
hit his receivers' hands beforehand.
only
Now, were
reason
they
he
great
didn't get it was
throws?
voter
I
fatigue.
wouldn't say. Hmm?
Only reason he probably didn't get it was voter fatigue.
Voter fatigue is dumb. I don't get it in the NBA. I don't get it in the NFL. I don't get it in the NHL. Like voter fatigue is dumb.
I
We
don't
shouldn't just be giving out for participation trophies
wait
just because we tired.
because if you do that in the NBA, it's going to be Wimby getting it point blank period for the next like 6 to 7 years.
And nigga, be better. I don't know. What do you?
If you were to do that with the NFL, it would have been Tom Brady doing it for the next whoever knows how.
I feel like actually NFL might have been more wide open than that because like Drew Brees has some great years. Because like remember, it's a regular season award, right? Drew Brees has some great years. There's some 2,000-yard running back seasons in there. So like I feel like
And I say that it's a regular season award because there have been so many times where there have been people who won based off of narratives.
that's fair, but narratives in the regular season. But because like the votes are given before the pro season starts, if my understanding is correct. I may be wrong. So like I understand that discontent with the idea around narratives driving it, and I agree. But also, I'm just like, is this not supposed to be the quote unquote truest meritocracy in America? If you want to be MVP, nigga, just be better. I don't really know like what Like,
You ain't got no sympathy for niggas.
no. Like, if you're not the best player in the league, then you deserve MVP. If you cannot definitively say I was if you don't have an argument saying I was one of the best players in the league this year, you don't deserve MVP. I'm sorry. Like, actually, I'm not sorry.
I respect that take. I
It,
respect it.
there, this is one of these few professions on earth where everything that you produce is quantifiable, measurable. You can also see it with your own two eyes if you don't like analytics. So voter fatigue feels dumb.
Okay.
If that man Patrick Mahomes won 4 MVPs in a row, fine. Somebody be better than a nigga. I don't really care. Like it's the principle of it.
I agree with you. I do. I do. It's something I can't really disagree with because I do feel the same way at the end of the day. I understand that they just sometimes want to make sure that you don't only let one person be remembered or die because there's so many great players sometimes that I hate that they never got their flowers. So you hate to see that. Like I would have hated to see somebody like Embiid not get his just due.
That's what Canton is for, though. The Hall of Fame is where you get your just due. Yeah, or at least that's always been my understanding of it, right? Because like the whole bunch of
But
people who didn't win a Super Bowl in the Hall of Fame,
but
whole bunch of people who didn't win MVPs in the Hall of Fame.
okay. You think that Embiid would have gotten into the Hall of Fame?
Maybe
Take away his MVP, is he getting in the Hall of Fame? I don't know if he is.
there were maybe I can, dude, depends how the rest of his career plays out. Remember, it's the Basketball Hall of Fame, not just the NBA Hall of Fame. So like his college career counts, his time at Philly count. Like there are like Hall of Fame measurements at the midpoint of someone's career are so difficult because if you had taken Dirk before 2011, he's probably not. I mean, he might make the Hall of Fame because of that MVP, maybe. But that one championship that came to the back half of his career catapulted him into a absolute first ballot Hall of Fame. So when you're at this midpoint, it can be very difficult to determine which way that's going to go because you still have so much time left. Now, again, even with an MVP, I don't know if Joel Embiid makes the Hall of Fame.
I think he is somebody that, despite his MVP case, is surprisingly shaky when I think about his case. I lean
Uh-huh.
to him just because he got the MVP finally, but I can understand why they would be like, nah. And I damn sure would say he's not first ballot.
Oh, absolutely not.
Like that's the thing. Like I'll talk about somebody like Dirk before he got that champion.
That championship?
I would have made said I would probably lean towards him just being a Hall of Famer, but he would be like a third ballot, somebody who has to wait a while. Probably not gonna get that shit while he's alive. But no, for real.
Damn.
That's how it
you went
be.
you went straight from third ballot to posthumously. That's crazy.
That's how it be for some guys. Like you have to think about it because like when you're in the way that the world is nowadays, nigga, you in the darkness. You ain't got no light on.
I know that's when I'm gonna go turn the light on. It got dark real fast, okay?
No, it did. That's why I had my lights on while we started recording. But
I like natural light, but that's a fair point. That's a fair
no, I
point.
understand. I understand. I cut the big one off because that shit was putting too much glare on my forehead. I didn't want to look like a light skin. But
Light
oh,
skins are catching crazy strays. We do not hate light skins, folks. We
yeah, I'm not coming
don't.
to y'all. I'm
We
sorry.
don't. It's all in good
I
fun. We love y'all, okay?
love my.
But yeah, you went straight from third ballot to posthumously. That's a
But
very
that's
big
the
gap between
thing
those two
though, because
things.
there's so many guys that come out like how many guys are out there that are still from the past that still deserve to be in like to get their spot in there? How many guys are going to be coming up that we're watching right now? They're going to have careers. They're going to be like, yeah, he needs to go in sooner rather than later. Some niggas have to wait. So it all comes down to shit like that. And that championship sometimes can be the thing, or the MVP can be the thing that catapults you or makes you go, nigga, you gonna have to wait a while, but yeah, we like your resume to yeah, bro, we gonna get you in right quick. You earned your spot.
I don't think Josh Allen's a first ballot Hall of Famer, even with the one MVP.
No,
So
no, because there's a guy who's had a similar career arc that's right next to him in Lamar Jackson who's got two.
who's had more MVPs? He also has the NFL all-time passer rating record, the NFL all-time rushing record. He also has I think one of the best touchdown to interception ratios all time.
I I'm like you. I don't really
Oh,
honestly,
sorry. Yeah.
I don't really
There's one other thing. Oh, no, go ahead. Sorry.
the last thing I'll say is I don't really see how you can put those two resumes next to each other and lean heavily in Josh Allen's favor.
And there are two blemishes on that particular item that I think make it unique in MVP wise. That's only happened. One of them has only happened twice before, I think. He won the MVP, but he wasn't voted the All Pro, first team All Pro quarterback for the year, which is, I think, only happened once with Frank Tarkenton, I think, in 1971 or two. If my year may be off on that, but it's happened very rarely. And then secondly, Lamar won his first MVP unanimously, which had only been done one time before that. So like there you now have two outlier situations, both pointing away from Josh Allen's candidacy in that particular regard. Now, Josh Allen may put up numbers throughout the rest of his career that overwhelmingly put him in the Hall of Fame, and I would love that for him. I'm just saying right now, as it stands, I want MVP doesn't really change his Hall of Fame career trajectory that much.
It makes him go from guy it keeps him right as a guy who maybe he's like a second or third ballot to like, all right, maybe he has a case. I'll put it like that. Lamar is somebody who I think, especially considering he's still having these years where he damn near should have had a third one, he's first ballot. You get him in. I'd be shocked if he
Mhm.
has to wait. It's gonna be real offensive if he has to wait more than 1 year. But and I can already see them trying to play with him like that. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now I think
For me, yeah, but like it's not like the voters ain't finna the people who vote for like the MVP and the All Pro aren't people who vote for the Hall of Fame.
right, right.
To my understanding. So, like, I
After they
don't
Bill Belichick wait, I'm not gonna be shocked by shit.
that one was kinda crazy. I'm
I'm
like,
not gonna I'm
"That's
sorry, like I thought he had every
nasty work."
I thought that's a dude that had every possible thing that he could have going for him. It doesn't matter if he is that much of an asshole, but no, they really tried to play with this man like that.
But I'll put it to you like this, there has not been in NFL history a multiple time MVP who was not in the Hall of Fame, period.
Point blank.
That those are just the facts. Like,
Well,
is
pressure's on
I
Josh.
praise about, second about it don't matter. Like, so
Pressure is on Josh at that point then. It's like you said, because he's the one who's still trying to catch up to the other two, in my opinion. Like,
and Joe Burrow is trying to pedal as hard as he can and catch up to those 3. Because he has no MVPs, no rings, no first team All Pro. He only has a positive playoff record because he doesn't make the playoffs.
if I'm not gonna lie to you, this is gonna be my controversial opinion. I genuinely would say that at this moment, I would put him and Josh Allen on the same sort of standing because I look at
Interesting.
the fuck did Josh Allen really have, like, really prove in his years before he had won that MVP? What had he really done except for get close and, like, not really come through in the end? What had Joe Burrow done? He had 2 times beat Patrick Mahomes. He was at the peak of his powers. Well, he had everything going for him. He had gotten to a Super Bowl, and he had went on a playoff run where he was getting his ass beat. Get
He was my brother in
back
Christ,
in
he was getting
fist
knocked
per
the
playoff
fuck
game. I
out.
remember that shit. And
You could not convince me he didn't get knocked out at least once in all of those games.
that's still crazy.
He was unconscious at some point. Like, there's
Still crazy. And he got up and he willed that team to that Super Bowl. Chase is a rookie going crazy. So that run still does hold a lot of merit for me personally. So I'm not mad at motherfuckers that try to hold him in the top 4 because he's shown us. And in the year where he throws the 5,000, yes, we clowned on him for it earlier, but that was mainly the result of just having an overwhelming offense and not having a lick of defense. A lick.
fair. That's fair. But also, we can't talk about Joe Burrow willing his team to victory when you don't make the playoffs, even though you throw 5,000 yards, right? You can't have both of those things being true. Like, I mean, you have to be able to hold those things in contention. Like, you can't be able to will your team to victory in some moments and not will your team to victory in other moments when you have all the numbers to say you should be able to do both.
And that is why I would say, like, I don't really know why it's not fair for me to say Josh Allen is sort of still in a similar spot, aside from his health, to Josh Allen. I mean, to Joe Burrow. They're both sort of in that same spot as well. They're both trying to catch up to the other two. One of them's trying to stay healthy so he can even prove that he can do it in the playoffs again. And the other one is trying to get another MVP to at least be able to say, like, hey, I'm equal to the guy that's still behind this other guy.
If Joe Burrow don't make the playoffs again, he can't be top 5 for if he missed the playoffs for like the 4th or 5th year in a row, he can't be top 5. I'm sorry, he can't. You
This
can't
is the
miss the
final year.
playoffs for half a decade straight.
This is the final year for him to be like in that top four. I'll give you that.
Like you just can't. You gotta figure it the fuck out,
There's
dog. Like you can't
there are
miss
too
the
many people who
playoffs
are
this
knocking on the
much.
door now, if we're being honest. There's way too many. Drake May could potentially have another year like he did last year, and I'm not gonna be able to like say, nah, that's just some fluke shit. No, he just might be that good, and you might have to put him right up there with those guys.
Bo
Caleb,
Nix hooping.
Caleb. That's all I'm gonna say. Caleb.
Different conference, but I figure I'm just saying
Talking
like
about
even just
quarterbacks
getting to the
overall. You're
playoffs.
talking about quarterbacks
Hmm?
overall.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. So
It's there are people that are knocking on the door that you might have to make some room for
the
the
Jag Trevor Lawrence hooping for somehow. Love that for him.
if the nigga's gotta go because he can't like if he's always on a crutch, then he's just gonna have to go. You're gonna have to be outside the club, my boy.
You can't miss the playoffs
Because
this much.
he's been coasting on that run. I'm sorry, because we all know, because again, it was legendary. It was epic. A guy getting hit that much, well, that was literally some to make it sound that epic, but that was be some like damn like mid 2010s LeBron type shit.
And it's been 4 years since he made the playoffs. He last made the playoffs was the 2022 NFL season. It is now going to be the 2026-2027 NFL season. He cannot miss the playoffs for a 4th year in a row. He
I don't
can't.
even
He
care if he's in
like nah. If some freak accident happens, then I'll like okay. But also that does impact his like
no,
because
because
at
at
that
that
point
point, bro, your body just is telling you something. This many years in a row, I'm sorry, that your body is telling you something.
but also the offensive line for Cincinnati has been bad, like bad, like historically bad. I'm just saying that to provide context. I agree with you, but like
Put it to you this way. If you get injured again, you need to request a trade. It's time. It's done. Because at that point, your reputation is no longer able to save you. I'm not willing. Again, it goes back to like Justin Herbert. At a certain point, I'm not giving you that benefit of, oh my goodness, you're so talented, or you did this that one year. No, nigga, you're just not performing anymore. You're not there when it matters. And if it is because that organization is holding you back, then that organization is holding you back.
when you back,
You
yeah.
you need to remind niggas. There's a clip that I remember of Tyreek Hill and Kelsey talking after they had lost the Super Bowl. Like niggas forgot we the Chiefs. We have to go remind them. They won that next year, so
Joe Burrow to Arizona.
that's on him. Oh, so I hate that. I hate that. Don't wish that on him. Don't wish that on him. I like him too much for that to be that. Nah, nah. He deserves better.
But it's so crazy that we've gone from 2019 LSU might have been one of the most dominant teams in any sport I've ever seen in my life. And Joe Burrow really was that dude
He was.
to
He,
this.
he still is if his body can just hold up. It's never like I never question. That's the
You
one
could say the same thing about Joel Embiid. And how do we talk about Joel Embiid? Hmm? They're the same player.
they are. Because when he goes out there and he plays, I don't have a question that he's going to put up the numbers, that he's going to look good. It doesn't matter what injury he's coming back from. I don't doubt he's going to come back fine from the injury he has now. The question is, when is it going to happen again? Is he going to be able to give me 14, 15 games? I'm done asking for 17 at this point.
I mean, if you're up by that much in the playoff, like you're not playing that 17th game anyway. So
Because if he can give the Bengals that consistently and they no longer have to question it, I have no reason to doubt that they can be successful, that they can get something done. He's shown he's that type of player to be able to will his team. But I hope whoever that is safe. Shit loud. But it's gonna come down to his health. That's the real big question for him.
he can't miss the playoffs a 4th year.
No.
especially if he plays 15, 16 games and misses the playoffs. Like
Egregious to see him.
it won't even like it won't matter if your defense is bad. You're like, we don't care no more, bro. Like, yeah, you're like what 3-1, 3-2 in the playoffs, but you haven't been to the playoffs since Joe Biden was president, my brother.
My brother in Christ.
Like,
It's over. Like it's over. It's got to be over for all that. For all that talk about the he's got no help or the no help on line. I mean, or anything like that. Like it's got.
and he has Dexter Lawrence on his D line now.
They gave him something. They threw him a bone. So yeah, I'm ready to stop giving them excuses. And then looking at that division, there's no reason why they should not at least be the second best team in that division easily. Like easily competing for a wild card spot at worst. So I'm done giving them excuses and everything like that. He's got the talent, he's got the pieces around him. If your body ain't holding up in Cleveland, I mean not in Cleveland, in Cincinnati, nigga, go somewhere else because it's causing you to be questioned now.
Hot take: he's gonna lose a game to the Browns, and where the Browns are gonna have 6 sacks.
I don't mind that wouldn't bother me. Teams lose to teams. The NFL is one of those leagues to where the parity is so sort of like any given
But
Sunday.
it's the Browns. It's the Browns. They don't have a quarterback. We don't know who their quarterback one is.
Yeah, we do. They're gonna give it to the guy that they're paying all the money that's guaranteed.
Do we? Are they?
I don't I don't think they want I don't know why Shador got drafted there considering the feeling that, like, nobody really wants him.
And they drafted Dylan Gabriel before him, which is I just feel like is
I
unnecessary.
I don't understand why they're putting him through this, why they won't let him just at least I'd rather he be a free agent and at least go if nobody in if the NFL is that low on him, at least let him go try out for some teams and let him get rejected by all 32. But being somewhere where that's just dealing that would rather have an alleged rapist over you is just crazy. I'm going to the front office and I'm saying, "Nah, y'all not about to play with me like this." There's a reason why Baker did like was just like, "No, y'all need to trade me away like immediately." Like they're
To be fair, he
insult,
traded.
not dealing
He
with.
traded.
So I just wish the better for him. It's not gonna bother me if the Browns beat the Bengals or anything because they can beat any team on any given Sunday. They're just they're going to be the Browns. That's why it don't matter if they have one little ray of sunshine. You know that next week is going to be back to the same old shit. Joey, I'm sorry, but like that's how it is. They're one of those franchises. Them, Arizona,
The Jets.
yep, and the Jets. I'm hoping the Jags are able to turn it around. I'm hoping Trevor
I
can.
think they will. They played really well at the start of the next second half of last season.
Just think they made a really bad mistake with Urban Meyer being that coach, and that set them back for a while. Just by,
Set them back a while.
but yes, everybody, that has been this week's edition of Sports Talk. Cam, did you have anything else you want to talk about?
Not that I can think of.
Alrighty. The only thing I have on my mind is that I saw Spider-Man. You need to go see it, my man. It is really one of those films, y'all. If you haven't seen the review already, check it out. It is on YouTube. It is on Spotify. I'm working on getting my Apple Music back to stop being stupid so that I can get every episode back on there, but it's everywhere except for Apple Music basically at this point. So check it out. It's a really good movie. The review is really entertaining. I put a lot of work into that. I don't usually make my reviews like over 15 minutes, and this shit was almost 40. So,
Check it out, folks. Check it out.
but yes, Cam, you need to go see that. It's really one of those movies, and I damn near I was hoping you had seen it so we could talk about it.
Have not seen it, but I will.
But any last words to the people?
Hey, everybody, stay safe with all these fires out here. If you're in Washington State, if you're in other places, stay safe, stay hydrated, wear sunscreen, and enjoy life, people. Enjoy life.
I cannot agree with you more on that one. I will tell everybody the same. The only thing I'll add, please, kindly, make sure that you like, follow, subscribe, do whatever you have to do on whatever platform that you are watching us on so that you can help us just get our subscriber count out, help us get our reach out to more and more people. If you happen to be on YouTube, this is the part where I ask you to click that hype button on the video, help boost us in the algorithm so that we can just be reaching all these other people on the YouTubes, because that's going to mean the world. And outside of that, this has been your boy Germ. I got my man Cam right here. It's been another great edition of Sports Talk. We are happy to be here talking to y'all, and we are going to be happy to be right back at you next week, because the one thing I know for certain on the agenda, it's going to be time to talk about the NFC and the AFC South. CJ,
Whew.
your reckoning is coming. I can't wait to talk about your black ass.
Wait, who? Oh, CJ Stroud. Oh,
Yeah. If you thought I had some shit to say about light skins this time, just wait till I get to your black.
oh, Lord. Yeah, if you're a last game, please cover yours for the next episode. I'm not gonna say nothing, but
But no,
I can't say anything about what Jarvis gonna say. So y'all, this
no. Thematic aesthetic. We are out of here. We hope you all have had a beautiful rest of y'all. We hope you all have had a beautiful day. We hope you have an even better rest of your night, tomorrow, and the rest of your life. Fuck it.
but come back. Bye.